excuses.
I know. Jordan, look him up.
Hey, make sure you do bring
Wait,
it
Lex.
You can talk with me in my office. If I'm not there, you can.
She taking it? Yeah, I think so. Not cool. She just did it. He did. Yeah, everyone look at Kim. No, she was talking to me. Okay, oh, you did? Okay. Look at Kim. Both the Kim. Oh, it's mine? No, I'm telling you. Dude, I'm doing a squat right now. Mom, I'm on TV.
Girls, while I have you here, reminder, tomorrow morning, I'll be at the entrance of the library. If you have a t-shirt money tonight, you want to give it to me tonight, that's fine. But you got to make sure you bring it. All right? Grayson.
I want to do it. Who's on there? Okay. Oh, she's here. Scooch in, maybe. It is this way. 701. Open your mouth. Wait, who said that?
When do you leave?
Who said what? Wait, what did you say? She said, okie dokie.
Alright, we're going to be waiting. I'm going to give you the jersey tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Maybe Sunday in your body. You guys are going to have so much fun. You guys call me before your plane goes down? I will, yeah. Before it explodes. What do you want?
And welcome to another edition of 302 Sports Weekly, one that's taken over a week to make thanks to the nor'easter. I'm Benny Pinello alongside Pat Garianis, and we are joined by the state champion Conrad and St. E's boys and girls basketball teams. We'll get to them in a second. Of course, we'll also talk about D1 and D2 baseball, softball, and we have girls soccer rankings out for the spring.
Hey, the champs are here, Benny.
The champs are here. Literally an
Welcome
entire
to the club.
team.
It's a great club to be a part of, the state champion club.
Yeah. All right, it's time to, of course, thank Gary and Nick of Hooters for allowing us to have the show every Wednesday here at the 136 Astro Shopping Center here in Newark. Come on out. Great crowd out here, and, of course, support 302 Sports and support their great wings they have. And try those. They're delicious.
Yeah, they're not too shabby, Benny. But please, we say it every week. We're going to continue to say it. Get involved with us here at 302 Sports. We actually will get into a little bit of involvement that happened on the Twitter page a little later in the show today. But that's what we want. We want you guys to get involved. So please, any highlights, scores, stats, any other information you'd like to see on the show, contact us, 302sports@gmail.com. And then visit the website, 302sports.com. And, of course, get on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at 302 Sports. Twitter, of course, we put up our weekly rankings, put out poll questions. Get out there, vote on that. Follow us on Snapchat now, sports_302. And make sure to come down here to the show, located at the 136 Astro Shopping Center.
Pat, they say that champions usually show out, and Conrad certainly did. The entire team is with us on set. Guys, first off, congratulations. And ladies, of course, congratulations. And wow, what an accomplishment it was. You win your first championship since the school reopened. Can you kind of take us through those final moments when you knew you guys are going to be champs, or girls are going to be champs?
Please,
Take
not
away,
all at
Lex.
once.
Well, it was. I honestly don't remember it at all. I just remember jumping up and down and screaming. And that's your cue to give it.
Don't move it.
Yeah, don't move it. Don't say it.
It was just really exciting. I say it was a great experience for all of us. I know a couple of us have been here probably for 3 years at the Bob, lost to Stanford twice, and now back again, able to make it all the way to the state championship and really actually winning and pulling it through, and actually being one of the first state championships for the school in a really long time. It was really a great experience for all of us, and it was really good for the school too.
Yeah, you look back at the season recap, you guys went 21-3 overall. Of course, you won that first ever championship in girls basketball history for your school. The way you got there, you beat Wilmington Christian 72-21 in the second round. You beat up on my alma mater, St. East, 60-45 in the quarterfinals to avenge the loss previous in the season. You beat Ursuline 40-37 in the semis, which was a fantastic game. And then, of course, you defeat Caravel 49-46. The first girls' final OT game since 1990. Yeah, that was before all of us were born, except for Coach. Sorry. but can you take us through that overtime period and just thinking about you guys made history that hasn't happened in almost 30 years. Can you take us through that overtime?
I know it was a really long overtime for all of us. I felt like the game was pretty short leading up to it, to the fourth period and overtime. But as the final minutes came down, I think we really buckled in. Finished at the basket. Alyssa got the big rebound to win the game, which was really exciting too. MVP.
I can only imagine the emotions there. Coach, this one's more for you. So if you can work your way to the microphone. You took down a Caravel Buccaneers team, a very formidable team, one that you may face in the championship again next year, and of course have a little rivalry going there. What was your game plan to take down the Buccaneers?
One of the biggest things that we kind of built this program on was defense, and I think we were known all year long for putting up some big numbers. I think you guys kind of, Jason and Mike, you'd hear them on your show on a weekly basis. Conrad scores another 70 or 80 points, and that's one of the things we were trying to improve on is our offense. But we always knew that staple for us was our defense. And if you look at 3 of the last 4 games, we held our opponents really low, and we knew we could defend. But that's where, when this program first started, we knew we couldn't score 60 and 70 points in a game. As we've grown, as we've matured, our offense has gotten better and improved, but our defense has always been kind of a staple for us, and we're continuing to evolve.
And you talk about your defense. Can you kind of talk about some factors behind your defense's performance all season long? Because it's been a heck of a defense.
Rebounding, that's the key. A lot of people will tell you, if you look at stat sheet, I think we had like 11 or 12 offensive rebounds. Alyssa herself had 5 alone, and that's where we ended up winning the game, is on an offensive rebound. The other key thing was forcing our opponents into turnovers. We forced our opponents into 20 turnovers. We go back, we look at the Ursuline game. We gave up 8 offensive rebounds to Ursuline in the first half, and we only gave up 2 in the second half. So making little adjustments like that. We got a great group of young ladies that are very cerebral, love the game, work hard, and could really care less who gets the credit. And if you look now in the NCAAs, both the men's and the women's, that's kind of the common theme with those teams, is they're very unselfish. And on any given night, any one of their players on their team, including the bench players, could step up and be contributing factors. And on this particular night, we had a couple different kids here and there that maybe some people didn't expect. I had one person ask me about Alyssa. They said, were you surprised? I said, no, because she's done it before, and she does it in practice on a regular basis. So that's a good thing, is when you have players that are unselfish, they all get along, and they work really hard for me on a regular basis.
One of the differences this year for you guys as a team, as opposed to previous years, was that you were kind of looked at as one of the contenders to start the year off. You kind of had that target on your back. Can you talk about, especially you guys that were on the team the previous couple of years, what the difference was with the vibe, the difference as far as the vibe goes around the team as the season went on, being the huntee instead of the hunted? Or maybe it's vice versa. I might have just said that wrong, but don't worry about it.
This year we knew that people were going to want to beat us because they knew we were a really good team, and I think it helped us get better prepared, since we knew they were going to come out stronger and get excited and gain more momentum from the game.
I know this year for me, like before a couple of our games, there were a couple articles out like, can Conrad do this or hold that? So I would always read those before the game or like during school, and that was like motivation. Like they want to know, can Conrad do this? So we're going to show them what Conrad can do.
Remember that, media, they are listening to you. This one goes to the Collegiate sisters. Not many sibling pairs have had the opportunity to win championships together. As a matter of fact, I can't think of one popular sibling duo that's actually won a championship together on the same team. So what's it like to go through that and win a title as sisters?
I think it's a good experience for the both of us. I know when we're older, we're going to look back at this and probably reminisce all the memories and all the good times we've had. So I think it's really cool having a family member, 2 family members on the team, and then a bunch of my other sisters on the team all winning.
That's adorable.
That's what it's all about, Benny.
That's what it's all about.
I consider you my brother. All right, Julie, you got a tremendous honor, Gatorade Player of the Year.
Oh yeah!
Congrats on that. Can you talk about how important that that is to you? How much have you taken that into perspective? And just talk about that real fast for a second. Then I got a follow-up for you after that.
I think it was a big honor. I know it wasn't just me, it was a bunch of my teammates helping out throughout the season, pushing me, motivating me, working harder. I just thought this year was the time to focus and really try to shut the other teams down and shut the key players down and really try to win.
So Gatorade Player of the Year, you scored over 1,000 points already in your career. You didn't score in a championship game. Can you talk about how important your teammates were to be able to pick you up like that and still come away with a victory?
Yeah, that was crazy. I know it showed we're really actually a full team, and it's just not a couple players. We even had bench players come in and really step up when my girl Nye fouled out. But sorry, Nye. But I mean, we all stepped up, so it was a good season. End of the season.
All season long, what was kind of talked about is that this is a young roster, Coach, and it just seems like for being such a young roster, you have moxie. You just have this kind of confidence. Where do you think your team gets it from?
You know, what's that, Nye?
Me.
They have embraced just about every challenge. You know, I told them that night, I said, enjoy it. And they're going to embrace the next step. We're not at that next step, and I want them to continue to enjoy it. We're going to be going on to spring break after tomorrow, and you know, we're passing the state championship trophy around for the girls to take home for 24 hours, and they enjoy it. They should enjoy it. They work really, really hard. It's been a long season.
Yeah,
Alyssa was supposed to bring the trophy, and she.
Hold on to that thing. You hold on to that thing.
But they embrace every challenge that comes their way, and they're mature. And I've said this before, you know, they're mature beyond their age. You know, one of the biggest compliments I got from several people was, you know, you couldn't tell that they were such a young group, the way they handled themselves in games and stuff like that, and that's just through them working hard, putting themselves in pressure situations. And I think I said to you guys the last time I was here is, you don't rise to the occasion, you know, you sink to the level of your preparation. And I truly believe this team, you know, is one of the hardest working teams around. You know, we've gone around and, you know, I've had compliments from different people, even the team that won the state championship in North Carolina. She sent me a nice little email congratulating us and, you know, basically said we were the best team that they played all year long.
Wow,
so
that's a compliment.
They
That's
finished
high praise.
32-2 and won the top division down there in North Carolina. Northwest Guilford was the name.
Wow,
so,
that's high praise.
you know,
That's very high praise.
That's it. Hey, you got to keep it going, right? Okay, ladies, so it was a long year. You guys have been together throughout the whole season. Is there one particular moment throughout the year that kind of brought you guys together, so to speak, or one that you look back on and be like, you know what, I'll always remember that? Is there anything at all? She's got
when
it.
you put your hand over
got
your
it.
face, it's usually a tell.
Well, you see, we were in where were we?
DC?
We were in DC, and
Oh
there was
my
a
God.
little incident with someone's fingers in the door. I really think that brought us together because, hurting somebody on your own team brought us together.
I can just see Coach getting like really stressed out right now. Okay. All right. Let's put a bow on this really quick.
No.
What does Conrad have to do to be repeat champs in 2018-2019?
I'm going to answer that real quick. We're not worried about that right now.
You're not worried about it?
I appreciate it, and these girls really need to enjoy it, and when that time comes, we'll embrace it, and we'll get after it. I know, and they know, that things change each year, and it's changing, and I could care less if we have a target on our back. Bring it. We're ready for it. And you guys said the key word is moxie. Is these girls do have the moxie, and we talk about those types of things in practice, in our van rides to games and travel, and they'll be ready. Again, it comes back to preparation. They'll take care of things in the off season. I got confidence in them. They did it last season. I think they're even going to work harder this year. And I challenged the girls that maybe didn't get as many minutes as they thought they should have, or some of the girls have played more JV. And my challenge, I've said it to them before, and I'll say it to them again here, is get out, keep working, and earn your minutes. Be part of a great team and a great program and a great school.
They are the 2018 girls basketball state champions for Delaware. When we come back, we have the boys joining us on the show next.
where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Want a professional no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
Welcome to Hooters. Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
And welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. I want to say special thanks again to Conrad, the Red Wolves, showing out. The entire team showed up to Hooters, so special thanks to the girls basketball state champs.
Yeah, a lot of personality with that team.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of personality with that group.
A lot of characters on that roster. Joining us is the boys basketball champions, the St. Elizabeth's Vikings. Pat's very proud. We are proud to have Matt Rubenkamp, Mike Cassidy, Jaden Dickerson, Ray Jones, and Nate Thomas joining us. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let's get right into it. First state title in program history. Coach, what's it like to be the first ever champs?
Let's just say it's been a different experience for me. But we're really enjoying it. It's very good for the school. They said we've been pretty busy running around back and forth all over the place, but it's good recognition. It's nice to get, I'm still getting cards in the mail at my house from alumni back from 1960 and 70 and all that, so very, very good for the school.
You know, looking back at your guys' season, you came in, you were the 9th seeded team in the tournament, 19-6 overall. You went through the tournament, you beat Newark by 5, 61-56. Nate, you hit the game winner against St. George's in the second round to win 40-39. Then you beat Glasgow 66-49. You defeat Caraval 57-41. Then, of course, you win the championship game by 11, 60-49. Take us just through that tournament run, guys, and just, you know, what your mindset was going through it. Obviously your goal is to win the state championship, but were you taking it game by game? Was this ever like a tangible thought in your mind to do it all?
Well, I think we did go game by game, for sure. We didn't want to look ahead. We weren't worried about, you know, the game that was playing after us, if we won or anything, because, you know, if you lose that game, you don't get to go to that next game. So really focusing on that game, and all week staying focused during practice. We had great practices all throughout the postseason, really staying focused for that 2 hours, hour and a half that we had to work hard, stayed focused. We were really prepared going into games.
Nate, you have a little bit of a sunset moment. You win the championship as a senior leaving. Kind of reflect on your career and what it's like to go out that way.
That's the best way you could possibly go out. I never thought coming to St. Elizabeth we would be so successful. I think we made playoffs every year. Had first round byes a couple years. But even though those don't matter, this year I just wanted to try and lead my team, be the best teammate I could be for them. Not worry about stats or anything, but just try and get some wins and hopefully win a championship, which we were able to do. So.
Now, Jaden, you came in as a freshman this year and just kind of worked your way into that starting lineup. This is going to be a two-parter here for you and Coach both. Can you talk about how much, as the season went on, maybe you got more calm and more settled in, and what you wanted to bring to the team as far as a player? And then Coach, after he's done, just talk a little bit about how important his development was throughout the year.
Coming in, I was definitely nervous for the season, and as the season progressed, I got more comfortable. Coach got more confident in me, and that led to better play.
And Coach, can you just talk a little bit about Jaden's development throughout the season? Now, I mean, he became a big part in the last couple of games for you guys.
Jaden really developed, but he worked hard all during the off season and came in and he stepped right into the role. He believed and he worked hard every day in practice. He believed in what we were trying to do. He still has a lot of work, but it's great to be able to look back and say there's a freshman. And I always wanted him to see from the senior leadership what I expect from him for the next 3 years through. But basically what I told Jaden and they need to grow up quick, because you're not freshmen anymore, you're sophomores, and he stepped up to the plate. And we had some numerous conversations about that throughout the season, but Jaden didn't take anything personal, and he kept working and this and that, and that's why he was successful.
Let's keep it up with the players. Ray, you move up to becoming a senior. You've had a chance to learn from Nate and Guy and guys on the team that are seniors. Going into next year, what have you learned in terms of leadership, and what do you look forward to coming up next year?
I mean, one thing with leadership is like, we gotta be able to do what we do in practice and work hard even when coaches are there. Mm-hmm. That was one thing he talked about during the season. Like, even if he's not there, we should be able to practice on our own and do stuff like that. And Nate was a good leader. He kind of gelled the team together. Mm-hmm. So we just gotta make sure we keep that gel together next season, because we're gonna have a lot of the same players next year. Mm-hmm. And we just gotta work hard and do what we do.
And Coach, you'll have a chance to really repeat next year. A fairly young roster. But one that took down, and I have to ask you this, you took down Smyrna, which is one of the best teams in the state of Delaware. What was your game plan in the state tournament?
The game plan was the same all tournament long. It was just to take it one at a time, one game at a time. We knew that we had to rebound, we had to play good defense, and we had to stay focused. And the game plan, like I said, when you looked at what these guys accomplished during the tournament, and the teams that we knocked off, they were all good teams. And then they finally started believing in their own abilities, and that carried over into the championship game as well.
You know, guys, that game was tight throughout, and you guys played a lot of tight games, at least early in the rounds in the tournament and throughout the season. At what moment did you feel, okay, this is about to happen, this is about to go down? And what was that feeling like? It had to be something that was completely special. So whoever wants to take the stage here and answer this one, or all three if you want, go ahead.
I mean, for me, well, we came into the Newark and St. George's games, and games were like really tight, and I was like, it's going to be a tough tournament. And then once we finally got to the bottom, we were really nervous, but we beat Glasgow, then we went on to beat Carabel, and that's when I know like we got a chance to really win it all.
Any specific moment during the game against Smyrna, you guys were like, oh my, this is going to happen?
Well, in the end of the third quarter, I think we went on a little run maybe, but I feel like that's when we started getting more energy. Like, second wind is coming in. We're like, okay, this is it for the season. Might as well leave it all out there. And I think the end of the third quarter, I think we might have got within 2 or so. We were like, wow, 2 points against best team in the state. Like, we got a shot at this, so let's go do it.
For me, it was late in the second half, and Guy shot a 3 from, I think it was the top of the key. And after that, I was like, yeah, we got
this. The confidence there with Jaden. You guys talked about your run. Coach, it was a streaky year. At one point, you guys had won 9 of your first 11, then lost 4 of your next 5, then won 9 before winning your last 9 games. A streaky season, you had good ones and bad ones. How do you break bad streaks and maintain good ones?
Well, we kept our focus. I'm not going to lie to you, there was plenty of sleepless nights in there. in between to make sure that we got the guys back together and playing as a team. Like I said, we started out very strong in the beginning of the season, and then we kind of plateaued out, and then we almost took a step backwards once a couple of these guys got hurt, especially with Nate and I forget who else was hurt, the guy in the Sear. But that's what we stuck to our game plan. We knew it was going to be a rough patch, but we emphasized every day we stick to the same game plan and we move forward. And we had some team meetings where we always have a coming to Jesus meeting every once in a while. And we did that, and we air everything out, and we do everything as a team. We focus as a team and air everything out. Keep everything honest, straightforward.
Now, Coach Cassidy, you kind of transitioned from staff to staff. You were there when Coach Rega was there for a couple of years, and then Coach Ruben kept you on, and you maintained with these guys throughout. Can you talk about the transition? Because sometimes it can be hard to have guys buy into a new program, when they're used to doing things a certain way. Can you talk about this group and how much they've bought in to your guys' new look and new game plan? Yeah.
Every single guy on the team has a great work ethic, and they come in and they work and they stick together and they stay focused. And something that is special about this group is, when I think Nate touched on it a couple times, and he said, a lot of people thought we would be celebrating after the Caravel win, just because we made it to the state championship. But something that was special about this group that I noticed was after the Caravel win, they were happy that we won, but they were still focused. And I've never seen that with a young group of guys, and that's kind of a testament to just how they check in mentally. And Ray's one of the. You gotta look at all three of these guys, but even the guys that aren't here, they're some of the most focused, most hardworking kids that I've ever coached. And like I said, after that Caravel win, it was just something special because I was like, man, these guys, they're not done. Right. They're focused, and that's the group that they just remain focused even through the transition.
One of the things about the Vikings, there you go. One of the things about the Vikings is their defense, Coach. Your defense is so solid. Throughout the tournament, you held star players. Bones Highland of St. George's, 6 points. Parker from Caravel, 13 points. Of course, Caleb Matthews, only 16 points out of Smyrna. What was the factor behind your strong defensive play?
They started believing in that defense wins the ball games. All year long, we went under the philosophy of the offense, and we started working on the offense. And we kind of pushed the defense to the side. And Coach Cassidy is my offensive coordinator, and I just told him we're going to change our little philosophy and go back to the defensive end of the floor. And that's what we did. He wasn't too happy. He's still not. But we had to do what we had to do and win the ball game. Pat, you know me, so you know.
All right, let's put a bow on this one. And it's a cliche thing to ask, but guys, what do the Vikings have to do to be repeat champs in 2018 and 2019?
I can't say it.
Yeah, no, neither.
I mean, I think we basically just got to stick to the same game plan. We got pretty much the same team. The biggest piece we're going to be losing is Nate. We're also going to be losing Ryan and Guy. So when they're leaving, we're just going to need some of the guys to step up even more and replace Nate's spot.
What about Coach?
We need to, like I said, we need to stay focused, and it would be nice if somebody walked in the door about 6'5", 6'6", that could rebound, that could pass, that could shoot. But we will play with what we have at the school, and I think now with the guys buying into the system, we'll be successful either way.
You can see it there, a very proud soul and a very proud alumni sitting next to me. 302 Sports will be back. Of course, we're going to congratulate once again St. Elizabeth's for winning the boys basketball state title. There you go.
We're all good?
Yep.
Tie a bow on it, the VK Nation.
I told you.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust. Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley, cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
He began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today.
Myself, Benny Pinella, Pat Garanes welcomes you back to 302 Sports Weekly, joined, of course, by Mike Lang and Jason Winchell. But first, we want to say special thanks again to the St. E's boys basketball team and the Conrad Red Wolves girls basketball team, both state champions, and both coming on the show tonight. So congratulations to them again.
Yeah,
and
thanks for coming on.
A lot of characters on both teams.
Yeah, thanks to them coming on. Congrats. Look, that's one thing that no one can ever take away from you. At the end of the day, you're a state champ no matter what. You know, when you're 25 years old and you're reliving the glory days, which you can't do it for real anymore, you can talk about how you were a state champ. Yeah.
There we go. Of course, now we're going to talk about girls soccer.
Like that? Nah, no one comes to mind.
That seemed very personal there, Pat. And of course, now we're going to talk about girls soccer. The top 10 for Division I. Number 1 still is Padua. I've had a very emotional past couple of days and weeks, even. Still remaining number 1 there. Middletown at 1-0 is number 2. Cesar Rodney at 3. Wilmington Charter, Apo, St. George's Tech, Cape Henlopen, Newark, Sussex Tech, and Concord round out the top 10. All right. We're going to look at some of the teams that actually won games. Cesar Rodney and Middletown are 1-0. Mike, talk about their games, talk about their wins, and talk about why they're not a little higher in the rankings.
Middletown played. They played Ursuline today. I'm not sure how that one went. And they had a big win. I can't remember who.
They beat St. Mark's 8-0.
St. Mark's. It was an 8-0 win. So St. Mark's a little bit in the down cycle. Middletown, the defending state champions, is still a strong team. They lost to Lister Porch, who was their big goal scorer last year. But they have a lot of talent on that team. Padua did. These records are from earlier this week.
Correct.
Padua does have a win. Yesterday beat Concord 7-0.
7-0.
7-0. I gotta get Mike soccer. You mentioned emotions to Padua. I was at the Padua game yesterday. I know the soccer team was the same. These girls left school early to get to their games, so they were not in school when the news was announced that their principal was coming back. But I know the softball team, and I'm sure the soccer team, very emotional. As you mentioned, these girls were on cloud 9 when they played, so maybe that had to give them a little extra kick in the pants or something to go out and play. But Middletown is still a strong team. CR, traditional power in soccer. This looks like the who's who of Division I soccer as usual. So as the weather finally starts to turn, we'll actually have something besides zeros on that screen.
Yeah, and Jay, that's the thing. Right now Mother Nature won Delaware High School sports 0, keeping it with soccer right there. But can you talk about maybe some upcoming games that could potentially shake up some rankings that are coming up here pretty soon within the next couple weeks?
Yeah, there's a couple good matchups involving, like Mike said, Middletown played Ursuline today.
Yeah.
It's Division I, Division II power. Wilmington Charter's got a couple big games coming up with Appo and St. George's Tech, and so there's a bunch of big ranked matchups showing up. Padua is taking a trip to Alabama over the weekend and playing a couple powerhouse teams down in Alabama. So it's going to be a big week for some of these schools. And like you said, the fields need to dry out so they can play.
And moving on to Division II really quick. Caravel's top number 1. Of course, they're 1-0. Tower Hill, Archmere, Newark Charter 0-2. Still remaining in that 4th spot. DMA, they tied, of course. Ursuline has a tie to their credit. Indian River, Lake Forest, Friends, and St. Mark's suffering the loss, the crushing loss to Middletown. All right, looking at that top 10, anything stand out to you at all, Mike?
Well, the Newark Charter, I'm not sure who they've lost to, but 0-2. And Ursuline and Lake Forest drew to open the season. So Ursuline starting out with a very tough schedule, and Lake Forest, the Spartans out. You see 2 Henlope and South teams. That kind of stands out a little bit to me. In recent years, it's been Indian River has been a traditional power, but to see Lake up there, it's good to see some new blood in that top 10.
And Jay, same thing. Division II as far as
I'm going to talk about Newark Charter. They're 0-2. Their losses are to number 1 Caravel in Division II.
Yeah.
And they lost 1-0 to Cesar Rodney, who's ranked number 3 in Division I. So they're 0-2.
They're quality losses.
Quality losses to start the year. Both very close scoring games. So they deserve, I think, to still be up there in the top 5 in girls, and maybe their schedule will easy up a little bit and they can pick up some wins. But right now they're 0-2, but they're a good 0-2. They're going to get a lot of bonus points with those 2 losses.
Now it's time to move on to lacrosse. Looking at the top 10 for LAX. Salesianum is number 1. Cape Henlope at 1-1. They're number 2. CR3. Friends for Archmere, Dover, DMA at 5, 6, and 7. Appoquinimink at 8. St. Andrews at 9. And Tower Hill at 10. Of course, Mother Nature making an impact on the lacrosse games as well. Not a lot being played so far. But Mike, looking at those rankings, Cape Henlope in 1-1. Remaining at number 2. Anything else stand out for you?
We every year we call this the Salesianum Invitational, and the Sows are number 1, and they're number 1 until somebody knocks them off. Only 3 in-state games this year for the Sows, so I think Cesar Rodney, St. Mark's, and Cape Henlope, and so some good ones. I look at a team like Archmere, a very high-scoring team. They can make some noise, and they play. Tower Hill and DMA play. Is it this weekend they play?
Saturday.
This Saturday, so that's a big game.
On 302 Sports,
on 302 Sports, we always like to plug it with Nick Hall. So there's some good matchups coming up. like you said, it's so early, and the rain's really had an effect on the schedule so far. And then the teams go on their spring or the Easter break, so it's going to really be another 2 weeks before we have some significant action that will impact the standings. But some good matchups. Cape and CR, that should be an outstanding game. Don't know when they play, but you might want to be there.
All right, so we talked about the game we're playing right here on 302 Sports Day. Any other games throughout the upcoming weeks that stand out to you at all?
Well, on April 14th, Cape Henlopen and Slazy Animal will be playing at Wesley College in the also on 302 Sports.
Right.
Also that day, Cesar Rodney and St. Mark's is the nightcap. St. Mark's is, they struggled the last few years. Cesar Rodney's a really good team. So that one might be a tough hill for the Spartans to climb.
Yeah.
But that's Sally's Cape Henlopen game at 3 o'clock at Wesley on that Saturday the 14th. It's going to be a really, really good game. Also, like Mike said, I want to see Cesar Rodney. They're the team that I think could challenge Sally's this year. They got a real deep nucleus back. And Archmere. I was at the Archmere Polytech game the other day. They scored 17 goals against a very good Polytech team. We'll talk about that later as one of the athletes of the week came from that game. But it was a pretty impressive thing. And then they beat DMA yesterday, which isn't reflected on our rankings yet, but they crushed DMA 15-5 in a battle of top teams.
Still more to come, including a very controversial week for baseball and softball. Twitter Nick will join us next on 302 Sports Week.
He began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today.
Absolutely.
Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
Where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Did not know baseball would make you guys so angry. And welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Benny Pella, Pat Garienis, and Twitter Nick joins us. Of course, we got to talk about softball first. Looking at the top 10 rankings right now, Indian River 2-0 there, Milford at 1-0, they're number 2. DMA, Caravel, Newark Charter, and Lake Forest, they go 4, 5, and 6 right there. Padua at number 7, Sussex Tech, Red Lion, and Delmar round out the rankings, with, of course, St. George's Tech dropping out. Moving from 8 now, Sussex Tech jumping in number 8 from a non-ranked perspective. All right, we brought in Twitter Neck for a reason. Twitter was blowing up, bud.
Yeah, today was a big day. As you know, we like to post our top 10s, and now we're into the spring. So our new spring top 10s were published today for the first time. But before we dive into that, I just want to remind everyone watching that the rankings for this week were completed before the completion of last night's games. So a lot of the public outcry that we received had to do with some games that finished last night, but disregard that. But regardless, we still have our top 10, and I was going to say it was a very controversial day today around 12 o'clock, and it all started with Nolan Henderson, who was upset about, and it started with softball. Softball is where it got heated up. Nolan Henderson letting us know that
football player.
Yeah, exactly. Nolan Henderson, yeah, and he had a problem with Smyrna not being in the top 10 in softball. So that's where it all started, and that's where most of it came from. The Smyrna softball, it all ganged up right. It all started there. Smyrna softball was we hear you, Smyrna softball. we're keeping an eye on you guys.
Good to see Nolan sticking up for his
Yeah,
Way to go, Nolan.
And then another big topic was baseball. A lot of people talking about baseball on their own teams. Cade, yeah, we got Cade Kruger from Middletown wants to know where Middletown is. So keep an eye out for Middletown. Look out for them. A couple of Middletown people. People from St. Mark's, they said, "Why are you sleeping on St. Mark's? Don't sleep on St. Mark's." And look out for St. Mark's coming up.
There you go.
And then some girls soccer. Katie Cordell from Appo, an Appo family, wondering where Appo is for girls soccer. So like we said, a big day in rankings. But
so let's talk about this here, guys. So we're talking about softball right now, Jay and Mike. What do you got for us with Smyrna?
Well, here's Smyrna, right? All they did was beat the previous #1 team, Delmar, and dropped Delmar to number 10. And they're very close to jumping in the rankings. Today, not reflected in it. Appo goes out and smokes Paddle 17-2. So that's the thing about it. I think it's such a wide open field this year in softball. And normally it's a Henlopen bias softball.
Correct.
Normally it's a Henlopen. But you can't sleep on teams like DMA, Caravel, Newark Charter, Red Lion. So there's a lot of good upstate teams. I think this is the year that it could be very wide open.
And right before you saw, just want to say, I've said this now for 20 some odd weeks to start the show off about how we want you guys to get involved on social media with us. This is good. This is what we want.
That's what we want.
Because we will discuss.
And we hear you. We hear you loud and clear.
That's what this is about.
I mean, part of this is the season's a week old, and it's rained and snowed and it's been 10 degrees outside. There's hardly any games that have been played. We haven't seen these teams. We can't see everybody. We're going a lot on what we know about who's returning, where they play, how they played last year. As the weeks go on, we'll have a better idea of who deserves to be in the top 10 and maybe who is in there that shouldn't be in there. And they'll shake out, and it's going to be different in a week or 2 weeks. And just calm down, Smyrna. We'll get you out there.
This is why you got to contact us at 302 Sports with your stats, scores, highlights, and everything.
I'll tell you, I'm not driving south of Middletown until Smyrna's in that top 10.
Well, now it's time to look at baseball. The top 10 there. Caravel, Cape Henlopen, Sally's, Conrad is the top 4. Newark Charter, number 5. St. Mark's, Renault, DMA, Hodgson, Appo, and Smyrna there. Appo working themselves in baseball.
Got anything else for us, Nick, when it comes to baseball, or is that everything?
Just someone that really stood out on Twitter today for baseball was Mr. Wayne Hurd. I'm set with the baseball rankings because of the completion of yesterday's games and stuff, but he let us know. He gave us all the games that happened yesterday, let us know who won, who beat who.
That's what we need.
So thank you, for letting you know. We'll take it all into consideration.
That'll be reflected in the next week's
Exactly.
rankings.
We appreciate all that.
All right, so.
Looking at the way baseball has shaked out so far, Cape Henlopen 2-0. They're one of those teams that maybe they could start pushing it for number 1 if Caravel starts the season off a little rough.
Yeah, and I know Jason's done a little more the looking at Cape, and he can talk about some of their players, but they're loaded in pitching stats. As the other teams, as far as looking at Caravel is your defending champions. They did win last night in a long, cold game against Newark Charter. But like we said, these records are from before yesterday, so it's not reflected. St. Mark's picked up a nice win today over St. E's. They look pretty good when I was out there watching. The bats are still a little chilly. So, like I said, these will shake out. There's some good teams in here. DMA, I know they're struggling right now. We'll find out. Cape Henlopen, I'll let Jason talk about it. Sally's very experienced in bringing almost everybody back from last year. Conrad, a new coach. They lost a lot of seniors. So things change, and these rankings will reflect that as the season goes on. But Jason can talk about what Cape Henlopen brings to the table, why so many people were clamoring for them to be number 1.
Well, the thing about Cape is their pitching was strong last year. It's going to be strong again this year. They lost a lot of low-scoring games last year. They couldn't hit. They struggled in big games hitting the ball. This year, that's what they're going to have to do. If they can hit, they got the best pitching in the state of Delaware.
Right.
They're ranked in some places high in the nation because of their strong pitching. Galoff could be pitching in the majors soon. I mean, he has lightning stuff. He's another Billy Sullivan.
He does.
So they had the pitching, but let's see if they can hit. I mean, last year when the playoff time came, they were not anywhere near Conrad, Salesianum, Caravel, and St. Mark's. So let's see if, as the season goes on and they start playing the teams, let's see if they can hit the baseball.
Folks, at 302 Sports on Twitter. I want to hear more of it.
Oh, they all know it, Benny.
Blow it up. Of course, we'll take one more break. When we come back, we have our grand finale, your top 5 plays of the week, your players of the week as well, and of course, we have your look at Delaware collegiate sports and athletes around the state of Delaware. We'll be back after the break.
Career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 302 Sports Weekly alongside Benny Pinella. I'm Patrick Garianis, and it's time for that finale, Ben. You hinted at it going into the break. Talk a little bit about some college sports, but before we get to that, again, thanks once again for reaching out on the social media. That's what makes it so great to have that back and forth. So continue to do that, and hopefully the weather clears up a little bit and we can get out to some of these games to really get this, get this thing rolling and get these rankings accurate. So
and come out here to 136 Hooters at the Astro Shopping Center, 136 the Astro Shopping Center. Looking at University of Delaware baseball to start us off, the team defeated LaSalle University in the opening round of the Liberty Bell Classic Tuesday afternoon at Hank DeVincent Field. Joey Haas, the freshman out of Caravel, earned his first career start, pitched the first 3 innings. Delaware native rebounded from a rough first inning to fire scoreless frames in the second and third. Calvin Scott delivered a big 3-run home run in the 8th to give the Hens a 73 lead, and of course he drove in 4 runs on the day. And then of course Billy Sullivan's the big story here. Tabbed the CAA Pitcher of the Week, 6 shutout innings, a career high, allowing just 3 hits Saturday. The Delaware native struck out a career high 10 batters, propelling the Blue Hens to a 2-1 series clinching victory.
Moving on, let's talk about the Blue Hens softball program. They concluded their the Colonial Athletic Association series with Drexel dropping a tough one, 3-1 to the Dragons Monday afternoon at UD Softball Stadium. They will take on St. Joseph's doubleheader March 28th, starting at 3 p.m.
Looking at Wilmington University softball, the offense was silent a cold, windy day at Asbury Field as LIU post came in and swept the non-conference doubleheader 3-1, 3-2 over Wilmington. Michaela McCarthy was the only Wildcat to record multiple hits, going 2 for 3 with the double. She also struck out a season-high 11 batters, able to get it done offensively and on the mound. The Wildcats, they return for a CACC conference action in their next contest. They head to Nyack for a doubleheader on Wednesday today.
That's it. Let's talk about my alma mater, the baseball team this time, WilmU. Complete game shutout with 11 Ks and only 2 hits capped the CACC doubleheader sweep for the Wildcats of Wilmington University. They defeated Goldie Beacom 6-3 and 1-0 on Sunday afternoon at Wilson Field. The Lightning responded with 2 runs in the top of the 6th, but the Wildcats once again had an answer in the home half. Frank Negro was again in the middle of it. hitting a one-out double over the left fielder to score Kendall Small, formerly of Dover, from first base. And then with 2 outs, Matt Frost of St. Mark's raced home on a wild pitch to put the Wildcats out in front 6-3. And the Game 2 starter, Chuck Delagal, went the distance, striking out a career-high 11 batters, only allowing those 2 hits and walked 1 to secure the doubleheader sweep for the Wildcats. Max Carney of Concord finished with 2 of the team's 4 hits in the Game 2, and Brett Knoll of Conrad, as well as Nick Grant from Milford, added the other 2 hits. The Wildcats remain in CACC play with their next contest as they head to Jefferson for another South Division doubleheader on Wednesday. Game 1 of the doubleheader will be the Bill Giles Invitational first round game. That doubleheader is set for 1 p.m. First pitch up in Philly.
Wilmington University lacrosse unfortunately fell to Alderson Brodas by a score of 12-8 this week. Of course, the offense was paced with 5 goals, 1 scored by Hodgson's Corey Nubbin. Mike Adams, St. Mark's, led the team with 3 caused turnovers. Noah Gibbon from Appo made 8 stops in goal. Wildcats remain in the state of West Virginia for the next contest as they head to Elkins, West Virginia, to play Davis and Elkins on Thursday, tomorrow afternoon.
Let's talk a little bit of Wesley baseball. They fell behind 7-0 after 4 innings, and then they finally got on the board in the bottom of the 5th inning when Kevin Schmidt hit his first collegiate home run. A solo shot to left.
Is he related to Mike?
I wonder. No, different spelling. Different spelling there, yeah. However, the deficit was too much as Wesley fell 10-4 in the non-conference contest Tuesday against the Washington Shoremen. The Wolverines sit at 6-8. They will return to Capital Athletic Conference play tomorrow when they travel down Route 13 to take on Salisbury. First pitch scheduled for 3:30.
I wonder if Wesley serves a sandwich like the Phillies, the Schmitter. I wonder if they serve that down there.
You never know.
All right, looking at their softball team, they took on Penn State Brandywine on the road. The final score was 13-12. And they were dropped in that first game. Of course, the next one ended at 2-2 in a tie due to darkness. Brandy Valius from Polytech cracked her team-leading 5th home run of the season with a 2-run blast in the first inning. And then, of course, Megan DiRibello recorded 2 hits apiece in the loss. She's from Polytech. Game 2 would only go 4 innings, of course, before it's called to darkness with 2-2 time.
Let's talk a little Laxborough. You want to talk a little Laxborough?
I'm all about Laxborough.
Let's talk some Laxborough. Let's talk a little Wesley lacrosse here. They picked up an 11-7 victory at home on Saturday over the Alvernia Golden Wolves, where my sister goes to school, believe it or not. Josh Wassum tallied 5 goals to lead the Wesley offense. He also scooped up 4 ground balls and caused 3 turnovers. The Wolverines will begin conference play on Wednesday when they make the short trip down to Salisbury to take on the 7th-ranked Seagulls. Game is slated for 7 o'clock.
All right, now to look at some Delaware College athletes. Brandon Rower from Liberty University hit his 2nd home run of the year for Liberty in the 7th. Of course, he's out of Middletown. The final score, though, was 19-8 as the Flames rallied 11 runs in 5 innings to down the Asheville Bulldogs.
Let's check in on Kirsten Fowlers, the Padua graduate, playing softball at Newman. They split a conference doubleheader with Marywood University. Fowlers in that game went 5 for 7 in the doubleheader, 4 for 4 with 2 runs scored in game 1, and then went 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored in game 2. Through 11 games, Fowlers is batting a whopping .526 with 11 RBIs, and in 38 at-bats this season has only struck out 5 times, Benny.
The Demon Deacons of Wake Forest are the school for Colin Palouse out of Middletown. He's 4-0 on the year and once again pitched into the 8th, allowing only 1 run, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. Of course, the Demons were able to win over Notre Dame 9-3.
Widener University softball, Benny, put together quite a game, 21 hits and 11 runs as they split a doubleheader against the Stevenson Mustangs. Lindsey Cooper led the way, 5 for 9 for her. And then Katie Sterling, graduate of St. George's, added 3 hits, including her 2nd home run of the season to go with 3 RBI.
Well, Salesian Adams' Nick Rubino calls Wagner University his home, and of course the right-hander worked a scoreless 9th, earning his 2nd save of the season, and 3rd of his career, in a 3-2 victory against the school. I did not list the school here. Of course, next time Wagner will play will be, I believe, later this week.
Now let's talk a little Washington College baseball. They drew 13 walks as the Shoremen defeated Wesley 10-4, like we talked about earlier. in that one. Ryan Zweier from Caravel hit a 3-run bomb and set a new career high with 4 runs batted in. He went 2 for 4 with the home run and also a double in that game.
And of course, for Duke, Trayvon Duvall scored 20 points, 2 shy of his career high. That was not enough for Duke as they unfortunately fell in the, I believe it was the Elite Eight to get to the Final Four. Freshman star and future lottery pick Marvin Bagley added 16 points and 10 rebounds. What could have been his, or what was his final game for the Blue Devils as he has announced himself for the draft.
Yeah, and speaking of the Elite Eight, congratulations, Dante DiVincenzo, Salesian graduate, 2-time state champion. His team, the Villanova Wildcats, will be moving on to the Final Four for the second time in his tenure up there. So congratulations to him and best of luck. I know he's been playing pretty well. Had a really nice dunk in that Elite Eight game. But let's move on. Ohio State / Notre Dame lacks right here, Benny. They close out, Ohio State did, the non-conference portion of the schedule with a 9-8 setback against the number 4 Irish. Nick Drake, formerly Salesianum, faced off against another Salesianum grad in Freddie Freebot. Drake had 1 assist and 4 shots on goal for the Irish, but could not get one past the Buckeyes goaltender. And Freebot picked up 4 ground balls and reached 100 in his career. The Wilmington, Delaware native has 86 ground balls in 30 games since the start of last year. Pretty cool hearing about the 2 Delaware natives facing off in such a big D1 lacrosse matchup, and it's kind of neat.
And Delaware's also the home for some great lacrosse, and Delaware's also the home for some great players as we look at our players of the week. Do the girls first, being polite here. Ariana Brittle from Sussex Central, freshman, hit a home run in her first varsity game as the Golden Knights beat the 8th-ranked St. George's Tech in their opener.
Yeah, and for the boys, we got to go to Mitch Moyer. The junior from Archmere had 4 goals, including a spectacular one-handed goal, and added 2 assists in a win versus Polytech. So congratulations to both those athletes. As for moving on, we no top plays this week, but we just got a couple of reminders. Robin DeMacy will be on next week to help in advance of the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K, which will be happening April 7th at St. Mark's High School. Please register and join Team 302. We have 9 members right now. Would love to see you guys join on. It's a great event, and of course Rob will be on here to talk about it. And then on a more solemn note, we want to give our most sincere condolences to Ms. Sean Bones Highland, St. George's basketball player, one of the top players in the state. Unfortunately, his house caught on fire this week, and he was injured as well as his family members. A lot is going on to them, and we just want to send out our condolences to them. And go to Facebook. We have their GoFundMe page linked up. If you want to go out and donate, of course, anything to help out that family would be much appreciated from all of us here at 302.
And again, it's facebook.com/302sports. Our thoughts and prayers with the Bones and his family right now. That does it for today's show. Of course, we'll join you again next week on 302 Sports Weekly. Rob DeMacy joins us once again for the Muscle Movement Foundation 5K. We'll see you next week.